thank you for cooperating in making this visit possible. This is Owen Cooper, the president of your company, Coastal Chemical Corporation. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you in the privacy of your home. I regret that I cannot speak to you and to your family directly and in person. I know that the union organizers have spent a great deal of time going into the homes of our men to sales talk them in an effort to win support for the union. Under the strange rules of the federal government, these outsiders are permitted to do this. Even if these outsiders come to your home without your invitation, the National Labor Relations Board does not hold that their action is an unfair electioneering practice. They can make you unlimited promises and the Labor Board ignores it. They can threaten to charge you more money even if you fail to sign up with the union immediately, but the Labor Board ignores it. On the other hand, under the Labor Board rules, during the period shortly before an election, I am absolutely prohibited from personally visiting in your homes to talk about the union. This is so even though I make you no promises, make no threats, and even though anything that I say is absolutely legal and truthful. This same rule applies to all of the officials and management of the company. Thus, we are unable to personally discuss this with you while the union is free to ride through the night at will to distort the facts and mislead our people with their cleverly planned professional sales talks. It is a strange day when the politician lays down rules to prevent people who know each other and who work together from having a personal conversation in the home about so serious a matter, while at the same time they let the strangers do these things without restriction. I consider this recording a poor substitute for being able to sit down with you face to face. I would like for you to be able to look me in the eye because I have nothing to tell you except the truth, and what I say is with absolute sincerity. Since this is the best I can do, I truly appreciate you and your family taking the time to listen to this personal message. Who are these people who are trying so hard to gain a hold on our men at this time? Do you know the man who is head of this union? Do you even know his name? His office is up at Akron, Ohio, close to 1,000 miles from Pascagoula. Do you know the treasurer of this union? The man who will get your dues money, assessment money, and the money you would have to pay in other union fees? The fact is that none of us know these outsiders who control this union. They have sent their traveling salesmen into Pascagoula to live in a motel while they travel around door to door selling the union's bill of goods. We know nothing about their character. We know nothing about their record. You only know what they choose to tell you, that they are really interested in your welfare, that they can get wage increases, that they can get new benefits, and that they can provide you with security. Friend, sales talk is cheap. The union can guarantee you none of these things. The union will never, I repeat, never provide you with wages or pay your many benefits or give you 1 ounce of security. They will never do these things no matter how much of your money is paid to them in dues and other fees. There is no law that protects you against this kind of union sales talk. The law is that mature adults have got to have the good judgment to protect themselves against false sales talk. There are many court cases where working people have sued unions in an attempt to make them fulfill promises. There was a case at the Blue Ridge Glass Company in Tennessee where a union organizer talked the employees in going out on a long strike. The union agent promised that the union would pay the employees' bills while they were out on strike, that the union would protect their homes by making the mortgage payments, that the union would supply their groceries to feed the families, and on and on. The workers believed that and followed the union Pied Piper out on a strike. Many of them lost their homes, many lost their furniture, their cars, and many of their families truly suffered through the long and bitter strike because the union did not do the things that had been promised. So the employees sued the union. The judge agreed that the employees had been done a terrific injustice by the union. He found that the union organizers had led the people out on a strike with these promises. He found that they had lost their homes, furniture, and cars because of the strike. But as much as he hated it, The judge was forced to hold that under the law the union was not responsible for the promises of the union organizer. The election this week is truly a serious matter. It can mean that you are taking a relationship that has resulted in years of proven success, years of progress, years of security for yourself and your family, for the present and the years ahead, even including the years after your retirement, and that you are swapping that relationship which has made all this possible for the constant uncertainty and danger which these outside strangers would bring if you let them come between us. Look around in your home. How much of what you see is a result of your good work with Coastal? And how much was given to you by an outsider? Are you going to endanger what you and your family have worked so hard to gain over these years? This chemical union has a terrible record of strikes. We did not make the record. The union itself made the record by days and weeks of months of suffering by its members. Working people whom they pulled out on picket lines, working people who had to go without their wages, working people who saw their benefits destroyed, people who saw their homes, their cars, their furniture, and their savings wasted away foolishly under the leadership of the big-talking strangers who had absolutely nothing to lose for themselves. I hope that you have seriously considered the letters and the documentary evidence we have sent to you about this union. Those things are the proof of what I am saying to you. Unions spend millions of dollars every year on publicity. They hire public relations and advertising experts to help them paint a favorable image across the country in the minds of working people and the general public. These millions of dollars comes out of the pockets of the working union members, and the money is spent for nothing more than an advertising campaign to help sell the union's bill of goods when the union salesmen come knocking on your door. This professional advertising has led the average person to think that most American workers are in unions. This is far from the truth. The latest statistics from the U.S. Bureau of Labor shows that there are over 72 million workers in our country. Of this figure, only a little over 15 million are in unions. In other words, there are more than 3 times as many non-union workers as there are union members. There are many good reasons why the overwhelming majority of American workers do not belong to unions. This low percentage of union membership has not changed in 20 years. Since the end of the Second World War, unions have not gained a percentage point in total membership. The reasons are very simple. Not even the million-dollar advertising campaigns can fool the people for long. The union organizers never tell you about the bloody strikes and the lost jobs as a result of those strikes. They never tell you about union officials being caught stealing the members' money out of the union members' pension fund or welfare funds. But strikes and criminal activities cannot be hidden all the time. Too many people have known firsthand about strike violence, about people being beaten on picket lines, about shots being fired into the homes of workers while their wives and children lie sleeping. Too many have brothers or cousins whose family had to move in with them when their income was cut off in 2 or 3 months of striking. So 3 out of 4 American workers have said that they don't want any part of a union, and they have said that over and over again. We know that the men at Coastal have the mature judgment to evaluate the facts and come to the right conclusion. It's easy to be talked into signing a union card. We all let salesmen talk us into buying things we really don't want. We all make mistakes. Fortunately, in this case, the card signing is a mistake that can be easily corrected in the election. This government election is being held for the very purpose of letting every one of you vote exactly the way you want to vote, regardless of anything that you have said, done, or signed in the past. You are not obligated in any way to the union in this election. However, if you fail to vote this union out, those cards that were signed can become a serious obligation. They can become an obligation for you to pay a substantial part of your wages to these union strangers. They can become a legally enforceable obligation. So don't fail yourself in this opportunity at the election. If you were misled into signing a union card, this election is your chance to cancel that signature and to protect yourself and your family against this union. We have done our best to provide you with the truth about the ICWU. I sincerely believe that you have plenty of facts to lead you to the right conclusion. Let me mention another example. In his talk to you the other day, Don Roark mentioned to you the union's financial statement. We obtained an official copy of the union statement for last year. It's an amazing document. It shows that close to $2 million were collected by the international union bosses from the pay of the working members. Careful study of the statement reveals that only a very, very minor part was used for anything to benefit the members themselves. Well over half the money collected from the members' pockets was paid directly to the bosses and to other employees of the union in salaries and fancy expense accounts. That was well over $1 million. Then hundreds of thousands more were spent on various union activities for the benefit of the union officers and organizers. Things like plush conventions, which the officers and their wives enjoy, but which members seldom ever see. I am looking at that financial statement right now. The ICWU has 11 vice presidents and a string of international representatives. Just these vice presidents and representatives received over $800,000 in salaries and expense accounts. Think of it. Every one of those $800,000 came out of the pocket of some working member. You know as well as I do that this money could have been a lot better spent on their families. My time is limited, so let me say just this in conclusion. We are a relatively small Mississippi company, but I am tremendously proud of what we have accomplished together. We are in competition with billion-dollar giant corporations which spread all over this country and even around the world. Yet you and I and the other people in this company have worked so well together that your earnings and your benefits are among the best in our industry. And we have built the only kind of job security that anyone can ever have, the security that is built on hard work together. No one can give you security. If we can't make a product which someone in the world wants at a good price, then we have no earnings, no benefits, and no security. And it wouldn't make any difference how many union contracts were signed or how many dollars in union dues paid. Our company does not claim to have given anything to you except an opportunity. We are simply proud to have worked with you in order to reach our achievements. It is true that even when this company was losing money, the stockholders voted you wage increases and benefit increases. But again, this was not a gift. It was done in confidence that we had a team of men that could produce. We put our trust in you, and I might add that I'm glad we did. I want us to stick together. If we do, we have an excellent future in a company that we can really depend upon. For the sake of your good company, for the sake of yourself and your future, and for the sake of your family, I am asking you to vote in this election and to vote to keep these outside troublemakers from coming between us. If you do that, I am confident that you will never regret it. 5 years ago, the vote against a union at Coastal was 154 to 66. It would be wonderful to see you win by an even bigger score this time. Remember, men, you have good wages, excellent benefits, and harmonious working conditions earned by working together. To you wives that are listening, consider the importance of steady work and a regular paycheck that Coastal has provided for your husband. And finally, to you children that are listening, I hope that after high school you will go on to college and use the $1,000 available to you from Coastal Chemical that cares about its employees and their families. Thank you sincerely for letting me discuss this serious matter with you and your family. Vote wisely, vote right, vote no. My hope and trust is in you, your sense of fairness, and your mature judgment.